What's up, Twins fans? It's Tom. I hope you had a happy and safe new year. Welcome to 2024. It is resolution season. I don't have one for myself yet. I'm not sure what the rules are. Do you have to set one this early? I'm not sure. I have one for the Twins, though. I have one for the Twins organization. I'm going to suggest it has to do with innings. As you see here, what I've got pulled up, this is from over on Fangraphs. This is the Twins minor league leaders in innings pitched from 2023, last season. So, as you can see there, the Twins had 7 minor league pitchers who threw 100 or more innings. That's on the low side, but it's not maybe as low as you would imagine. And really, one of them was Randy Dobnak, who he's not a prospect or anything. Some other teams will have guys, in their late 20s, throwing in the minors as well. But there were 272 minor leaguers to throw 100 innings last year. That's an average of 9 per team. So the Twins a little bit under, even if we're going to count Dobnak, but even more than that. There are some really good systems that actually had less. Like the Chicago Cubs have what's regarded by some as the best minor league system in baseball right now. And they actually only had 6 guys throw 100 innings. On the other hand, the Kansas City Royals had 11. So it's kind of all over the place with some of these organizations. In general, though, I would say we want this number to go up. We want to see some more guys eclipse 100 innings in the minor leagues this upcoming season. So that is what my Twins resolution is for this upcoming season, is to start working on getting some of these guys some more innings. And it's especially concerning because we're going to take a look in a sec. Some of the very top prospects actually took a step back in terms of their workload from 2022 to 2023, which is a little bit of a concern. But as you see here, before we move on to that, the Twins also had only 2 guys who threw 120 innings or more last year in the minor leagues, Pearson Ole and Randy Dobnak. There were 103 guys across all of minor league baseball to do that, so 3.5 on average per organization. We'd like to see that increase as well. Again, probably not as high of a number as you would have assumed, but Pearson Ole, who led the Twins in innings, as you see here, 127 in the third innings, he ranked 49th in all of minor league baseball in innings. So the Twins barely had one guy inside the top 50 for innings pitched. So I think this is something that could be improved upon. I don't want to send off too many red flags. Obviously, starting pitchers are throwing fewer innings these days than they ever have. So it's not like there's guys in the minor leagues throwing 175 innings here left and right. This is fairly representative of what you'll see across a lot of other systems, but the Twins definitely are behind. And I think the concern for me more comes in when we take a look at some of these individual players. So, these are 5 of the top pitching prospects in the entire Twins system. I might have them in a different order than some other places, but I think generally you could say these are top 5 of the top guys in the system. And look at how many these guys either barely increased their innings year to year and how many went down. Marco Raya, his went down. David Festa, his went down. They limited Marco Raya's innings, and then he had kind of a rough patch that also sort of made it so his innings were limited. Festa, they really adjusted his schedule around his Futures game appearance, it seemed like. They kind of took it easy on him for a while and then took a while to sort of gear him back up to full speed. Connor Prielipp, unfortunately, kind of the same story for him. He's just been hurt, and that was the case last year as well. He only threw 6 2/3 innings. Simeon Woods Richardson, that one was probably a little bit more performance-based, so he did have a better second half. He had a horrible first half and barely increased his innings. Andrew Morris, coming from college into pro ball for the most part from 2022 to 2023, he also had a slight decrease in innings. He was hurt to start the year. So again, these are 5 of the Twins' biggest pitching prospects, and either pretty much staying stagnant or decreasing slightly their innings. I would like to see these increase from these guys, and we're not going to see huge jumps, but at least getting them moving the right direction would be a big plus in my opinion. So that's kind of a concern I have from last year that I would like to see. Again, resolutions are all about improvement, things you'd like to do better, to improve upon from last year. I'm not too concerned about this, but when I think about across the entire Twins organization and system, This is something that's kind of been festering in the back of my head about last season. But how big of a deal is this? I don't know. I don't know. To tell you the truth, we'll kind of take a look at a guy who is doing it at the big league level, because that's the concern. Is if one of these guys needs to contribute as a starting pitcher at the big league level, can they shoulder a starter's load? Bailey Ober, who was a guy who only had eclipsed 100 innings once, and it was in 2021. A guy who's been through a ton of injuries in his career. Went ahead and threw 167 innings between the majors and the minors last year. A huge workload for him considering how he's thrown in the past. Now we'll see how he snaps back from that this year. I have a little bit of concern about that. Again, there's not that many guys that are throwing 150 innings, period. So it would be tough to expect him to take it a step further. But, if he can just avoid being injured and kind of mirror this workload, that would be huge, especially with so many question marks around Chris Paddock and how many innings he might throw. But that's just, I wanted to throw that out to sort of wrap up this conversation and say, it doesn't disqualify any of these prospects from potentially, shouldering a bigger load. These guys are in good enough shape that as long as they stay healthy, they should be able to take on bigger workloads. A lot of these, these innings limitations are artificially put in there. Like Marco Raya could have thrown a lot more innings physically. The Twins just, for whatever reason, didn't want to push him last year. I think the same is true a bit of David Festa and some of those other names too. But anyway, I hope you're having a great new year so far. I want to call out that my first Member Monday video of 2024 will be on Ko-fi later, and that is going to be an updated prospect list. So if you're interested, go over there, check it out. Also, I've got my zines for sale over there too. I'll put a link down in the description of that page. But thanks so much for watching this video. We'll talk again soon.